In the darkest days of World War II, the Allies unleashed a strategy so devastating, so relentlessly effective, that it struck fear into the heart of the German war machine. It wasn't a secret weapon or a single decisive battle. It was a methodical, grinding campaign that Germany saw coming, but was powerless to stop in time. This is the story of the combined bomber offensive. By 1943, the tide of the war was turning, but victory was far from certain. The Allies needed a way to cripple Germany's ability to fight, to dismantle its industrial might from the inside out. The plan was audacious, a relentless round-the-clock bombing campaign. The British Royal Air Force would strike by night. Their heavy bombers, like the Lancaster, dropping thousands of tons of explosives on industrial centers under the cover of darkness. Then, as the sun rose, the American 8th Air Force would take over. There would be 17 flying fortresses, and B-24 Liberators would fly deep into enemy territory for high altitude. Precision daylight raids, targeting specific factories, rail yards, and oil refineries. The human cost was immense. For the air crews, every mission was a gamble with death. Flying miles high in unpressurized cabins, in temperatures that could freeze a man solid, they faced a terrifying gauntlet. The German Luftwaffe skilled pilots in their Focke-Wulfs and Messerschmitts, along with a dense network of brutally effective anti-aircraft guns known as Flak, turned the skies over Germany into a slaughterhouse. Bomber formations could lose a quarter, sometimes even half, of their planes on a single mission. The courage of these young men, flying into what they called the Big Black Flak, is almost unimaginable today. But for all the German resistance, the strategy worked. The sheer scale of the Allied assault was overwhelming. If a factory was destroyed, the Germans would work frantically to repair it, only for the bombers to return a week later. Key industries felt the squeeze. Ball-bearing production, crucial for everything from tanks to aircraft, was hit hard. Synthetic oil plants, which fueled the entire German military, were systematically obliterated. Albert Speer, Hitler's Minister of Armaments, later admitted that these attacks on oil were the single most decisive factor in Germany's eventual collapse. The Luftwaffe was forced to pull its fighter planes back from the front lines to defend the homeland, weakening its support for the German army just as the Allies were preparing for D-Day. The combined bomber offensive was not just about destroying buildings. It was about breaking the logistical backbone of the Third Reich. It choked the supply lines, starved the front of fuel and equipment, and ultimately cleared the skies for the Allied invasion of Normandy. It was a brutal, costly, and controversial strategy. But it was the one Germany feared most because they knew they couldn't stop it. It was a war of attrition fought thousands of feet in the air, and it played a critical role in bringing the war in Europe to an end. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of history interesting, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories like this one. See you next time.